Yo guys, what's going on? Another day, another video, and it feels like a while since I said that, and it really is because I haven't said it in a while. It's been a while since I've uploaded a video. End of 2022 is pretty busy as far as work and, just general life things go, so. With us now into the new year, I figured it's a good time to reflect on 2022, and in this video you'll see a bunch of sneakers that I picked up and, that I consider my favorites. So I just want to let you guys know that these aren't 22 release sneakers, rather they're sneakers that I bought in the year of 2022. So you'll see a bunch of old stuff, bunch of new stuff, all that good stuff, you know how it goes. This Pata collab pair of Air Max 1s is actually a sneaker pickup in December of 2021, but I realized that this hasn't been featured on the channel yet, and I figured it's a good sort of B-roll background as I'm making this introduction to this video, so lots to cover here, so let's kick right into it. Starting in January of 2022, some pickups. So this first one is from a local resale shop here in New Jersey called Limited Supply. Shout out to them, I purchased from them so many times. And this one, sort of an old banger. They're the Air Jordan 1s in the clay green colorway. So May of 2018 when these dropped, I had graduated college and truthfully sneakers weren't anywhere near my mind. I was focused on getting that degree, so didn't pay these any mind, and I came across these on like an Instagram flash story deal. At the time it was a good price. I think I paid like $2.99 for them in like very, very gently worn condition. You could tell I was going to make a video about these based on all these clips. Here's sort of the highlights of them. End of late, as you know, we've been seeing a bunch of Air Jordan 1 fatigue. I think people have been getting less interested in the Air Jordan 1s, but there are certain ones from the past that people cherish, and I think this is actually one of them. It's color blocked very similarly to like the Mocha Air Jordan 1s, which is a recent hit of theirs. So people going back and finding these in good condition is pretty rare. So I was very glad to find them in, a condition that I liked and a price that I liked enough to, keep them around and wear them. Next up here, a pickup from eBay, and you'll really know that I like a sneaker if I'm going out and finding it for resale, and here I happen to buy them in the aftermarket via eBay using their authenticity guarantee. So you're seeing the raw unboxing clip here. I usually unbox sneakers in front of the camera just in case there's any malpractice or, there's something wrong with the sneakers. I literally have video evidence proof of what goes on. But anyway, you're seeing this full clip because truthfully I don't have any glamour shots of these. I am looking at them as I'm making this though, so maybe I'll plug in some clips over this talking right now. But 2022 was really the year for New Balance, and particularly really the 550. At the beginning of the year, these were pretty hard sneakers to get. Not this colorway, but just generally 550s. And looking back pretty much into December 2022, January 2023, these things are sitting on shelves. Again, not this colorway, but the model, the silhouette of the 550 went from being super hard, rare to find, to the ubiquitous shelf sitter at, your Foot Locker or New Balance stores. I've done my fair share of picking up 550s over the last 12, 16, 18 months, and this one is one of my favorites. It's really just the colorway. This baby blue or Carolina blue is just so tough. Anything like blue like this, I'm a sucker for. It was unclear when these came out, so I just went on eBay, pulled the trigger because it was a sneaker I really, really wanted. So another pickup from Limited Supply. I didn't think they'd be this back-to-back, but this is a pair of the Salehi Bembury collabed New Balance 2002 Rs. Very, very stoked on these. I've worn these a decent amount now, and I bought them in like worn ones condition. They were pretty much brand new. Same situation as the clay greens. I saw them on like an Instagram story and I just pulled the trigger. These initially dropped in like June of 2021, I believe, and they're pretty hard to get. I missed out on them. So seeing them with the second chance at a pretty decent price, I figured why not, and I'm so glad that I did because these are just so cool. The colorway is pretty out there, the materials are pretty crazy, but if you go all neutral with your shirt and your pants, kind of like how I have them styled right now, and let these shoes do the talking, it's really crazy. You'll break a lot of necks. Like I mentioned with the previous 550, 2022 is really the year of New Balance, the 550, and I'd say the 2002 are as well. So many cool and clean collab pairs as well as GR pairs. I think I might have a few in the mix later on in the video, so let's keep it moving. So this next sneaker is one of the top sneaker releases of the year, I'd say. Maybe the top dunk release of the year, and it's a sneaker I wasn't even around to pick up. The short-winded version of the story was I was out in Europe for work, and these had dropped on a Nike Sneakers Pass in New York and a few other big cities, at least here in the US. So I wasn't able to enter for the Sneakers Pass, but my girlfriend Steph, shout out to her, was within range, you know, given how close we live to New York City. I asked if she could throw her hat in the ring and give it a shot, and before you know it, she got this reserved screen. So again, shout out to her, and she got all these cool clips from her iPhone as far as like the activation goes. So they had all these cool props, this cool setup of grocery, drinks, and just really setup was amazing. Very bodega-like, very store-like, but it also playing on the theme of the sneaker, which is like travel and all that good stuff. As you can tell by all these clips as well, I was planning on making a video of this whole activation and reviewing the sneakers, but I never got a chance to. You know, really time is of the essence these days. But very glad she was able to at least see them, and I have these clips to cherish them by, and obviously the sneakers as well. I actually haven't worn them yet, which is a shock, but in due time, they'll get broken out. Next up, another hyped up sneaker. This one was delayed though. I think these were slated to come out end of 2021, but given the stuff that happened with Travis Scott, you know, these were delayed. I'm surprised Nike decided to pull through with the partnership and release these along with the 3 other sort of Nikes within that collection. But in any case, you're getting the full unboxing on these because I didn't get a chance to get any glamour or B-roll shots of these. But these are the Nike Air Max 1 collab with Travis Scott in the Baroque brown colorway. These also came out with the Saturn Gold Air Max ones, as well as the 2 pairs of Air Max trainers, which I have all 3 of and 4 of technically, so the pack is completed. I've said it in some sort of past upload, but I believe the Saturn Gold is probably my favorite of the pack of 4, although this one is probably the most hype and probably most expensive when it comes to resale from the entire pack, and what it comes down to here is the colorway on these. You know, browns and earthy tones have been so popular on sneakers over the last 12, 18, 24 months, and this exemplifies that, you know, with different shades of browns. This is a very utilitarian type sneaker, you know, very much in the mantra of what Travis Scott does when he's with Nike or Jordan Brand. Interesting choice on the Air Max 1 as well. I think this is probably Nike pushing the Air Max 1 agenda, given the anniversary year on the actual silhouette. Have I worn them since getting them? No, but I will eventually. If I didn't make it clear earlier at these clips, I had gotten these from Sneakers and Stuff. Shout out to them. They came in at the 11th hour with a raffle win. As you know how it goes with these sort of larger hyped releases, it's so hard to sort of get your hands on them, whether it's the Nike Sneakers app or raffles from boutiques. You know, they're not very clear or transparent as to who wins them and how they win them or whatever, but for me, I entered through the Sneakers and Stuff app and I was able to get them. I saw that charge on my PayPal account. So really glad to have these in the collection. I think these will age pretty nicely given sort of the weirder look. The Air Max 1 hype is pretty high right now, so that's also a plus. Next up is one of the more sleeper pairs to release this year, and it's the Stussy collabed Nike Air Force 1 Mid in the Fossil colorway. So these originally dropped back in May of 2022, along with 2 other colorways, the light bone and the all over black one. I have the light bone pair. I was able to grab those on Sneakers. And the black pair I passed on. Those I think are still sitting on shelves to this day, and we're talking January 2023. This specific pair seemed to be like a Stussy only release. I saw them also drop on Dover Street Market while I was at the DMV renewing my license, and outside of that, those are like the only 2 outlets I know that these dropped in. So Stussy being a longtime collaborator with Nike, I know over the last 2-3 years now, they've done up sneakers in this sort of hemp canvas-like material. You know, we saw it through like the Spiridons, we saw them through the low version of the Air Force 1, and now they're done up in this mid cut. To me, I just really like the simplicity and wearable nature of these sneakers. You know, they're in this all-over sort of cream color. You could essentially wear them with anything. I like the additional hits of, you know, Stussy all around, you know, between the ankle strap, the tongue, the back, the toe box, etc. You know, it's one of those sneakers where if you know, you know, and obviously I know because I went ahead and got them. I was surprised to see resale sit where they were. At the time of my purchasing of them, I grabbed them for $106, and then after StockX fees and stuff, I ended up with them out the door for like $125.90. I hate buying on StockX, but you know, at that price, I couldn't resist. Like some earlier sneakers you saw in this video, this one, a raffle win coming from Exhibition in Ohio. Shout out to them. Again, came in at the 11th hour as well. I entered a ton of raffles, and when I mean a ton, I mean a ton. And given the resale on the sneaker, I'm surprised that I wasn't able to end up with more, just because it seems like these are pretty hard to get, but at the end of the day, nobody really wants them. And I think part of it is the stigma. You know, these dropped at a Kohl's as well. And if I didn't mention it, it is the Tom Sachs x Nike Craft General Purpose shoe in the Archive colorway, which is like this mustardy sulfur color is what they're calling it. I also have this studio colorway, which is like that white and blue one. I got those in a trade from Trade Block app. You could see those in that video. But this colorway I like a bit more. I think it's a bit more out there while also being muted at the same time, if that makes any sense. Part of it is due to the overall silhouette of the sneaker, to the blind eye or, untrained sneaker mind. These very much look like a kill shot or, that same genre of like a Stan Smith, Superstar, etc. type of sneaker. Another thing too is just the accessibility and price point. Again, I like that these were pretty easy to get, although not easy to get for me. Tom Sachs stuff in the past has gone for a ton of money, while these have a low retail price and honestly, given the resale market, aren't going for too much either. Definitely a great casual way, you could dress these up, dress these down, perfect for like going to the office or something as well. Next up here, we have sort of an underappreciated, underrated sneaker release from 2022. I got these straight from New Balance, and they are the Pata collab New Balance 990 V3s, dubbed as the Keep Your Family Close or something like that. So part of the reason why I think a lot of people weren't into these is one, the New Balance fatigue. New Balance is dropping sneaker after sneaker at a high retail price, or they generally range between like 140 and over 200 depending on the model. So, to get every sneaker is nearly impossible. Along with that too, I think is just the overall colorway. They look very similar to like the Jound 990 V3s in that sort of olivey color. And I don't think like the neon accent colors here is something that was, liked by the masses. I can't say I'm crazy about this bright green accenting as well, but at the same time, I think it's a lot in the styling and how you wear these. A lot of times I'm wearing like wild colored sneakers and then, just wearing some neutral uppers, and I think that's certainly the case here. And when you couple it in like sort of the 990 V3 silhouette, it's one of my favorite sneaker models, so you can't beat it. And by these glamour shots, you could tell I was planning on making a video in some shape or form, and it never panned out. Again, time's of the essence here, but given the padded detailing and the overall sneaker model, it's enough to be one of my favorite sneakers of the year. Next up is a pack of 3, and I'm just going to get ahead of it. They're the Joe Freshgoods collab 993. I like them all, so all 3 colorways are roped into this sort of segment. At one point in time, I had 5 pairs total, so all 3 colorways I was able to hit on the Joe Freshgoods Instagram shop drop. That was a mouthful, but I was able to hit on my personal account, my Stuff Dylan Likes account, and my Stuff Dylan Sells Instagram account. Follow those 2, the last 2 that is, if you don't already. And then the Sage pair was a double up. I hit on the raffle from Kith in Soho. I went to go pick those up. I'm going to overlay some clips that I got in store. And then that blue pair as well, I was able to get manually from newbalance.com on their wider October 21st release. The original drop on Joe Freshgoods Instagram was October 17th, I believe. Quick little monologue here, but when I hit on Instagram on October 17th, I was very skeptical just because, he had dropped the 9060s, I believe, in the past via Instagram. I hit on those as well, but then they were quick to cancel my order. So I was anticipating a bunch of order cancellations. Fortunately, no orders were canceled, and again, I was able to end up with the 5 pairs. Did I need 5 pairs total? No. I ended up getting rid of the extra Sage pair that I have. The blue double up I have is for sale, and I'm keeping the 3 core colorways. And if I didn't address it already, the first colorway is the Arctic Blue, the second is in the Sage, and then the third one is Powder Pink. And if I had to rank them as far as order of my favorites go, I definitely go blue first, pink second, and then that Sage last. I know that's a very unpopular opinion, especially given resale prices right now. It seems like the blue was the lackluster one of the pack. The green one is probably the most popular, and the pink one is whatever. As far as rare and exclusivity goes, the pink pair was probably the hardest one to get just because that was a Joe Freshgoods exclusive drop, so you could either get those on the Instagram drop or straight from his website. The other 2 were kind of more ubiquitous and, easier, and I say that in air quotes, to get. The reason why I like these so much, I think the pastel colorways just hit so hard. The 993 is likely my favorite New Balance model as well. If you check out my old video on the gray pair, that's the one that essentially started all for me, at least in my adult life. I'd been into sneakers as a kid, but once I started my professional career and started making some money, the gray 993 was the first sneaker I went and bought. Part of it is really the comfort and quality. It's unmatched in a made in USA New Balance 993. And, hitting for retail on these more exclusive, again, I say that in air quotes, exclusive sneakers, in collaboration with a great creator is always a good thing. Resale prices don't stray too far away from retail, at least the blue and the pink ones, I believe. I think the Sages are going up. So if you like that pink and blue colorway, definitely go grab it before, you're unable to. Yet another great collaborator on a great sneaker. Let's kick to this last sneaker for the sake of time. rounding out my favorite sneaker pickups of the year, it's probably one of the hottest sneaker drops of the year. It's the Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG in the Chicago colorway, also dubbed as the Lost and Found. So I was fortunate to grab these via raffle win from Renarts. Shout out to them. If you don't know what Renarts is, it's a boutique. I believe their flagship location is on Long Island, and they opened up a secondary one in Queens, which is where we went to go pick them up. So I guess the quick backstory on these is, I saw that they had put in a raffle to grab these sort of after their November 19th release. I picked these up on the 26th. I guess it's to cater to the new location. So I trekked out to Queens, was able to pick them up. They gave me a free t-shirt, so shout out to them again. And this is a sneaker that I was planning on making a dedicated video on, but to be honest, this is again one of the more popular sneakers, so a bunch of content creators already pushed out content, and by the time I'd grabbed mine, it was well after release. And so it's all good. I have them now, and again, I'm just very happy to have them. Nike and Jordan Brand are really good at giving us close copycats to like the original Chicago colorway Air Jordan 1s without giving us the actual one. And what I mean by that, you think of sneakers that I've had in the past, like the patent bread Air Jordan 1s, or the Chicago black toe mids, or the bread mids, or even the white heel Air Jordan 1 mids. That's the closest we'll get to a traditional Chicago colorway that Michael Jordan wore on court for the Air Jordan 1 silhouette. This is probably the closest to it given the overall colorway and color blocking. Again, it's in that Chicago color blocking, but really it's like the sort of beige, crack leather, yellowing all over kind of deal. Like, I get what they're doing with this whole vintage sort of retro looking thing, but just give us the Chicago colorway of black, red, and white. As far as the actual sneaker goes, it's essentially just traditional Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG. Nothing crazy when it comes to quality or comfort. Had these dropped maybe like 24 months ago when Air Jordan 1 hype was even higher, this is probably a $1,000 shoe. But now resale prices have settled. I mean, they're still worth a lot, but they're not quite the $1,000 price tag that you would have expected, years past. Just as a sneaker collector, it's always nice to have sort of a Chicago colorway themed sneaker in the collection, so happy to have these. And with that rounds out my favorite pickups of 2022. Let me know what you guys think about what I picked up in the comment section below. There are a lot of honorable mentions and sneakers I didn't include this video. If that's something you're interested in learning about or seeing, let me know in the comments. I'm talking a lot, so let's just close it out here. Follow me on Instagram at StuffDoneLikes. Check out my eBay page, both linked in the description below. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.